You hear that? All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Commissioners Court. This is Lavaca County Commissioners Court. Today is the 11th day of August, 2025. This is your 10 a.m. regular edition of Commissioners Court. With that, we will start with a confirmation of roll call. Precinct 1.
Here.
Precinct 2.
Here.
Precinct 3.
Present.
Precinct 4.
Present.
And the judge is here, so let the record reflect that all 5 of us are here, present and accounted for. And with that, we'll stand for invocation and our pledges. Our most Heavenly Father, thank you for this day here in Lavaca County. Thank you for the blessings of the weather and the grass that's growing outside, Lord. We just ask that you be with this deliberating body of officials and public as we start the process of engaging and deliberating over our annual budget and tax rate, Lord. Lord, we just ask that you give everyone open minds into what is needed here in Lavaca County and the things that we have to do for the betterment of your people and the protection of all citizens and our children of Lavaca County. And we ask for these blessings in your name. Amen. Now our pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. All right. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. We've got a pretty full courthouse today. Whether you're watching us live or here in the courtroom or watching this at some other time, we appreciate your time and attention to county government and all the matters that affect us. Do we have any announcements or public comments today? Hearing none from the public, do we have anything from the Commissioners Court? Anything you want to say or add?
No.
Any good news, bad news? Well, that's good. No news is good news, I guess. Okay. All right. We got a pretty lengthy court agenda today. It's going to take us some time to go through it. Also, I want to point out right off the bat, we provided a separate notice of a possible quorum. Immediately after court, we're going to go and tour the annex facility. We've got a new elections office that's under construction, almost complete. We just completed the new maps room. The old subway building has been turned into a map room. We can go tour that. And in particular, I want the commissioners to take notice of the old fur building outside. So we want to go and take notice of that, so we can make decisions back in the courtroom of how we're going to dismantle that building if that's what we're going to do. So immediately after this court, we'll adjourn from court, and we're not going to make any decisions over there. It's just giving the public notice that we will be walking around and touring those grounds today after court. All right. With that, anything else? The other thing I will announce is, again, we'll talk about it more during the presentation. Our budget is out there. It's been proposed August 1st. It's on the internet. We plan to have budget hearings, tax hearings on the 25th at the end of this month. That'll be our last court hearing of the month. So I just want to make that, announce that publicly. But we'll discuss it as we go forward. All right, we'll move on to action agenda items. Item number 2, present the 2024 Distinguished Service Award from the Texas Historical Commission to Lavaca County Historical Commission. That's found on page 1. And I'm going to read this to everyone so they can read it. It says, Dear Judge Mudd, we are pleased to announce that the Lavaca County Historical Commission has earned a Distinguished Service Award for their outstanding work in 2024. This award is given to recognize exceptional performance as determined by a statewide assessment of annual reports highlighting the above-average contributions of your commission. To celebrate this achievement, we encourage you to publicly acknowledge this award at your earliest convenience. In doing so, you not only recognize your commission's hard work, but also highlight their civic contributions, promoting a positive image for county government. The suggestions included in the attached flyer offer great suggestions for promoting this accomplishment. The Texas Historical Commission extends our congratulations to you and your CHC for this well-deserved accomplishment. Thank you for your ongoing support of your appointees and their dedication to preserving Texas's historical and cultural heritage. Sincerely, Nano Cauldron. And she's the Outreach Program Coordinator. So we want to acknowledge do we have any Historical Commission people here? We got 2. You want to come forward? You got a bunch. If you're on the Historical Commission or part of the Historical Commission anyway, please come forward. We want to get a picture to go. If you can.
Why don't y'all tell me where you're at?
We have a.
Hello, thank y'all for what y'all do.
Y'all just gather in, or y'all can even come around behind if you want to. I might take it on.
Mr. Frank, small Bigfoot camp.
It automatically focuses, yes.
So we want to cell phone, please? There we go.
How you doing, sir? Doing good, thank you. Thank y'all.
Thank you, appreciate that.
All right, wait.
All right, again, we pause for a picture. Thank you to the Historical Commission for all the work that you do year in and year out for making this county a great county to live in. It's just neat to see the historical marker signs. It's nice to watch people driving by, passing by, and reading those signs and getting out to see what's going on. But anyway, we appreciate it. All right, next up is another presentation, number 3, presentation from Nicole Nguyen, hope I pronounced that right, regarding SJRC, Texas Belong, and numbers of children in foster care. If you would state your name for the court.
Yes, my name is Nicole Nguyen. I'm the Regional Director for SJRC Texas Belong.
Okay.
Thank you all for having me, Judge and Commissioners. I know you have a lengthy day today, and then apparently a field trip you are about to go on too today.
Yes.
So I'll go pretty quickly through this, but just a reminder about SJRC Texas. Our mission is to create a supportive and nurturing environment for children and families through advocacy, innovation, and the power of positive relationships. SJRC Texas is a child placing agency in the San Antonio area, as well as we have a home in Bulverde for children, and we also have our resource center in New Braunfels. We also have all of our prevention services under our SJRC umbrella, which is our Parents as Teacher that also services Lavaca County, and we just started our Fatherhood Initiative as well. But we applied for the contract for community-based care, and that's where the division Belong, which you'll probably hear more about Belong, that oversees the kids that are in foster care from 28 counties, including Lavaca County. So that's under Belong, and so we are the contractor for community-based care, which is used to be Region 8B. Now they refer to it as South Central and Hill Country Region. But I did want to share with you, if you look at the map, originally in the last 4 years, I would come, there would be a hole in the middle. We were recently awarded Bexar County as well. So now we have Region 8B, which is the South Central Hill Country, which was the 27 counties, and we just acquired Bexar County, which is our 28th county, to fill in that hole. Before community-based care was around, Region 8 was one whole region and it wasn't divided. When they went into community-based care, they separated the two. And so we went out for bid for Bexar County, and we received that contract. And they're set to go live September 1, the same way we did with the other 27 counties. So just wanted to make you all aware of that change going forward. We're excited for it and looking forward to being able to bring Region 8 back to one big region. Just a little bit again about community building and how we have been meeting the needs of our kids is when a child comes into foster care, we do not handle intake investigations, we don't handle family-based. We just, when the child is removed by the state, we do the intake and placement for that child. So we get the child's information and we determine placement for that child, whatever is most suitable for that child and available. Every child is gone through our legal case management, meaning they're provided a permanency specialist, formerly known as a CPS caseworker. They work on that case. They work with the parents to set up any type of services they need to. They check on the child. They make sure the child has what they need in their placement, and they handle all the duties of case management alongside the case. If the child is placed in a relative's home or kinship, they also are assigned a kinship worker. Because going into foster care when you're a foster parent, it's one thing, but when you're a relative not expecting this to be part of your life, it's a lot. And so we have a kinship worker that works with them to hopefully get the house licensed so they can get financial support and just give them the extra level of support, because it's a lot to take on a child, sometimes multiple children. Sometimes they're getting phone calls saying, we have your 5 grandchildren, can you take all 5? And so it's just a lot. And so we want to ensure they are supported, and so we have the kinship department to support them with that. We have our independent living department as well, which some of our kids might have a caseworker or permanency specialist, a kinship specialist, and a independent living. And that person is really to work with those older 17, 18-year-olds to be like, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Some of them are transitional living, independent living. Where do you want to be? Do you want to go to university? You want to go to trade school? And they really just focus on helping them transition from adolescence to adulthood, and they get assigned that worker as well. Our family enrichment department is all of the prevention services that they can have prior to the case and during the case. So in-home parenting, our fatherhood initiative, any of our resources that we offer, whether it's infant massage or car seat certifications, anything like that that helps just enhance their ability to parent, we provide those services. And then after the case is over, we want to make sure those kids never return back under us. So we have post-prevention services that support that family as they transition. Most of them are ready for us to just get out. They're just like, bye, see ya. We don't want nothing to do with y'all afterwards, but we always let them know that we're here. We don't want them to come back. So if they're struggling in a situation, maybe they got their kid back when they're 8, and they're starting to hit those teen years and some new behaviors are happening. We want to be able to support them in that and not have a child enter back into foster care. So that's just our whole continuum care and how we wrap around kids. But a lot of that work could not be done without community support and communities being able to connect these people back to resources in the local community that will support their children. Just a little snapshot in numbers for the East region. So I cover 7 counties from Gonzales to Calhoun County. So when I say East region, I don't know why. It's South Texas, but they made us the East. We had 174 kids that were in the East region after our last quarter. Of those 174, there was 20 that were from Lavaca County. And then 1 to 5, when we start getting below 5, they don't like to put a specific number because of identification purposes. But between 1 to 5 of your kids were placed in Lavaca County during that quarter. I can give you the numbers as of last Monday. Because that's when they came out. So as of August 4th, currently you have 12 kids from Lavaca County that are in the conservatorship segment, which is foster care. 5 of those are placed in the East region, meaning they're here in our East region in one of your neighboring counties. The rest are placed in, 3 of them are placed in Region 8, meaning not necessarily in our 7 counties down here, but are placed somewhere in Region 8, and the other 4 are placed outside of our region. And those can be for various reasons depending on the needs of the child. I can tell you for the East region, we only have 1 emergency shelter in our East region, which is in Legacy Ranch in Gonzales. So if a child's needing that immediate removal, that's normally where we see our kids go because they have that bandwidth. And they also have the GRO, which is a group residential operations. And then the only other residential type placement here is in Victoria, and it's for boys, and it's a RTC that's in Victoria, and it's a smaller one. Everything else that we have placement-wise in the East region is like foster homes. So if a child is needing one of those really strict, not strict, but a more intensive therapeutic setting, like let's say there's a girl that needs that, we don't have any current placements here in the East region that would provide those needs. Currently, we're always looking for people that are willing to come in and partner within our East region. I actually got to meet with one of your community members, was it Friday? I was on Friday and just kind of talking about how do we help build capacity, how do they help build capacity, and the biggest thing I always say is strong communities build strong families. So what can we do in the community to help build up so people want to be foster parents? Because right now what we see is people want to be foster parents or they're interested in it, but when they have to find out they have to drive an hour or so to get mental health services or counseling, that's a hard thing to do. And so how can we maybe help build that up a little bit more so that way foster families feel like, I can do this and I don't have to drive, to another county to get these services as well. So we're definitely eager on bringing our kids home. When we first took over, we looked at our kids that were placed out of state and we're like, how do we bring them back? Let's just get them back to Texas. Let's get them back to their home state. And now we're really focusing on how do we get our kids that are from our communities as close as possible, if it's safe and if it makes sense, to get those kids as close as possible back to their home community that meets their needs. Do you have any questions about the numbers before I
The
move
number's
on?
growing or shrinking?
Y'all are pretty
Stagnant?
pretty steady, and pretty steady on the number of kids that are actually placed here. If you do see a number of kids placed here, it's normally because they're placed with a relative. There's not really any kids ever placed here because if they're not placed with a relative.
I think the only number I'm tracking, I think I'm asking the auditor of this, is the amount of money we pay for attorneys to represent these children in CPS court is probably, but I know it's a lot.
Yes.
We've been maxing out the budget line, and I'm concerned we're not going to have enough attorneys. I've got attorneys that want to get out of it, and that's another issue. So I think we need to do a better job as a community supporting these attorneys and foster families.
Yes, we see a turnover, and that's not just y'all's county.
Okay.
There's a turnover in attorneys in all the counties, so it's not nothing. I don't want y'all to feel like, oh my gosh, we're only one, because it is a struggle to do it. It's hard work. It's not easy. I know there's some attorneys that have been tasked with that job when that wasn't even what they went into it for, and so we understand there's a lot of legislative things that we can't provide certain positions for underbelong, and so that's something that our leadership always goes back to. We have a whole legal team that talks to legislative when it's time to be like, how could we better serve these kids moving forward? But yes, we appreciate our attorneys, and we all, want to come to the table and have the best option for our kids. And then just a reminder that every number I give you, it has a name to it, and I obviously can't give you all the names to it, but all 12 kids have a name. And community-based care is really putting the power back onto the community to support our kids, right? It really does take a village to raise a child, and when you're from a rural area, the thought of being picked up and moved to a big city, I would have freaked out if somebody would have said, I'm taking you from your little small town. I lived in a little small town that we didn't have even a gas station. So if you would have taken me that and then put me in a place like San Antonio or Houston or Austin, I don't know what I would have done. And so I think it's just a reminder that I know we all want our kids to be able to stay in places that are safe. And so just kind of give y'all a success story per se of how the community just rallied around. But there's a boy, he's age 10, this is a true story, it just happened over this past summer. He entered care in 2023, and it's one of your neighboring counties. He was actually put into foster care, and he wasn't already living with his biological parents, but he was being raised by another relative and was put into foster care due to abuse. Guardian Work Services did what they needed to get the child back, went to court. Court judge ordered them to go back, so good, but it was unsuccessful. We started seeing some of the same warning signs in the kids, some of the same red flags. We're like, you weren't having those issues when you were in the foster home that you're having again now. And so they took him back out of the home, and a community member was like, I can't see this little boy from this rural town having to be put in Houston. Like, that's just not it. So she said, I'll take him. I'll get him through the school year, right? So we rallied around that community member, supported them, and then in that time, another community member was like, I don't have kids at home, I'll take him. And so she's now on her way to be able to be licensed. She has the child now, but she's on her way to be able to be licensed, and she's been able to keep the boy in his home community, in his school. He gets to go back again next year to a school which he thought wasn't going to be an option for him. We found out that there were some extracurriculars that he really enjoyed, and so there was a local group there that welcomed him in to let him be a part of that as well, helped us with pricing so that we could continue those services for him. And that to me is just the epitome of the community just wrapping around a kid, just saying, hey, you're not our child, but you're somebody in my village. Let me see how I can support you. And I think when you hear those stories of small town, rural area, I'm lucky to work in the East Region, which is a lot of rural towns that just really rally around their kids. And so every child has a number, and I hope that while his return wasn't successful, I know that he's in a safe and he's thriving. I got to see him this summer, and he's just happy and loving it and is really excited to be going back to school next year where he knows the teachers and they know him, and it's his support system. It's his family extended out of his immediate family. And so we'd love that to be the story of every one of our kids, is that if they can't return home, that community just embraces them and loves them. And so I just wanted to give you a little bit of a positive story that it is possible, even in our rural towns, to wrap around our kids and support them, to let them know that they're not overlooked and they're not just a number. Just some call to action. One thing I always say is I don't say it, I say it, but I did not come up with the quote. Ronald Sider did. No one can do everything, but we can all do something. You could spread the word that here, even in Lavaca County, that there are kids in foster care, and that's only 12. That's not even the number of kids that Norma's house sees for child abuse. We sit in on the MDT meetings and we hear about the cases that come, and so I think just spread the word that there is kids in foster care that we need to wrap around, whether they're interested in being a respite provider or a foster home, or if they're up for adoption. We have kids available now that are ready for looking forever home. No strings attached as far as foster care. They're ready for their forever home. But just spread the word about it. If you're a part of an organization or a group or a church that would like to host an informational meeting on how to become a foster parent or adoptive parent, we're always open to do that. Support a child or family. We are always looking for ways to support a child. Sometimes, I'm just putting a plug, but Christmas is coming. I know that seems crazy to y'all, but we have to fill out wish lists in October, so we're months ahead for that. But we always want every child to feel seen and special at Christmas. Back to school just happened, so we make sure we connected them to y'all's local school supplies drive and made sure they do, but there's just different ways to support families. I just had a request for a mom that's getting her kids back, and she got everything set up in her apartment. She had everything. She just needed help with beds. Got it. Let's figure out how we can get these kids home so they can start school in the school year in their home. We do work remote. We don't have an office, so we're always looking for spaces for meetings, to be out in the community more. And then if you're ever interested in hosting a drive, always can use diapers, wipes, car seats, you name it, those quick things that we need to grab and run with. But do y'all have any more questions for me?
Wanted to address your question. So far this year, as of the 14th of July, we spent $36,000 on CPS. Last year was $29,000.
So it's rising, it's going up. All I can say is thank you. I know this court has a lot of issues on its plate to contend with, from the sheriff's department to EMS to paving roads, and that consumes us a lot of times. But I think there's nothing more important than what you're doing.
And if we can ever, did you want to say something?
I'll just make a comment. I just want to thank you for such a thorough and complete overview description of your organization. So your organization is a result of legislative action?
Yes, in 2017, they switched to community-based care. We didn't see the effects of that until 2021.
Okay. Well, I was there in 17 and was part of that. So remind me again what SJRC means?
Okay, SJRC originally stood for St. Jude's Ranch for Children. We were a
St. Jude's
Ranch for Children. We were a group home and shelter in New Braunfels and Bulverde, but we had a partner agency in Nevada, and it got too hard for us to maintain the state requirements for 2 different states. So they kept the name St. Jude's Ranch for Children. We just kept the acronym SJRC Texas. So technically it doesn't mean anything, but then people always ask, where'd you get the random letters from? Doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense. So that's the backstory, but when they decided to say, it was just too much state laws were different, they separated and we kept SJRC Texas.
Thank you so
So,
much.
yes.
Nicole, thank you.
No, thank y'all, and if there's anything we can, work on, support, not much I can do with the removals, but we definitely are trying to help bring any prevention services that will maybe hopefully prevent removals, which then would hopefully permit attorneys needed to work those cases, so.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up is everyone's favorite subject matter. Number 4, presentation of 2025 certified values for Lavaca County / Farm to Market Road, brought to you by our tax assessor collector. You want to come forward?
Okay, good morning, Commissioners, Judge.
Morning, Debbie.
So in front of you, in your packet, you should have the certification of the appraisal roll. And basically, these numbers come straight off the certified values from the appraisal district for the county and for the farm market road. So basically, I'm just looking at the appraised value for the county. And this year, it is $4,744,262,060. And also, farm to market's got a separate value that's just a little bit above $4,744,302,673. And so figuring that, that's like a 1.9% increase from last year, okay? But basically, I'm looking at your taxable value. That's what your levy is going to produce once the tax rate's adopted. And so the taxable value for the county this year is $3,895,235,860. That was for the county. For the farm to market, it is $3,886,488,463. If I said that right. $3 billion.
$3,886,000,000.
Yeah. And so that looking at that, that's just under a 1%, 93.6% increase. So it's just barely under 1%. That's the increase.
And that's the entire county.
That's the entire county.
That's a fraction of Elon Musk's
Very
salary.
fraction.
Just
So those are just
State.
numbers that I'm giving y'all, and basically that is where we stand with the values.
All right. Do we need a motion to approve the certified values, or is this a presentation?
I make a motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 4, second by precinct 3 to approve the presentation of the 2025 certified values for Lavaca County. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right. Number 5, present the 2025 no new revenue tax rate and voter approval tax rate.
Okay, here's where we get into the meats and potatoes, right? So this year, per my calculations, we have 2 rates that I calculate. I calculate a no new revenue rate for the county for the M&O part, and then I calculate a farm to market rate for the road and bridge part. So the no new revenue this year that was calculated for the county is .4130. And the farm market rate, .0994. Then I calculate a voter approval tax rate for the county, .4464. For the farm to market, .1033. So you take these two rates, and the no new revenue having a total of .5124, and then the voter approval rate having a total of .5497. So it is the Commissioners Court and the judge's decision to propose a rate anywhere between the no new revenue and up to the voter approval rate.
Okay. Any questions or comments about that, Commissioners? Do you hear a motion to accept the presentation?
I so move. Second.
Motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1 to accept the presentation of the 2025 no new revenue tax rate and voter approval tax rate. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. All right, I've added my presentation in between now, that presentation and where we will discuss and propose a tax rate and set a meeting for the hearing on agenda item number 7. So I want to read that to you. There's a handout you should have received. I don't know if we have enough copies. If you missed a copy, we'll get you another copy of it. I've provided one to the Mr. Apple as well with the newspaper, and also sent him one via email. He's got rights to publish that if he wants to. This is the State of the County, this is item number 6, presentation of the Judge's 2025 State of the County, including key proposed budget changes for 2025 through 2026 by County Judge Keith Mudd, and general follow-up discussion by the Commissioners. So I'm going to ask the Commissioners to let me read through this in its entirety, and then if you want to ask questions or add to it or subtract or whatever you want to do, you feel free to do that. So this is the 2025 State of the County budget. State of the County and Budget Address by Lavaca County Judge Keith Mudd, released August 11, 2025 at 10 a.m. in Commissioners Court. And again, I'm putting this on public record. This is to Lavaca County officials and for immediate public release. The proposed budget for Lavaca County was posted with the county clerk on August the 1st, 2025, and I'm proposing to move Lavaca County forward to the voter approval rate at a total rate of .5497. This rate will generate approximately $1,664,971 more in tax revenue than last year. Of this new revenue, $327,063 can be attributed to new construction and new growth throughout the county. The proposed rate of .5497 is still lower than our 2020 and 2021 rates of .5679. And if you see the text chart below, if you look at the text chart right here, and I hope you get a good glimpse of it, this dip back here, that's kind of the Ronnie Lake through Tramer Water Gears, and then we went back, climbed our way back up, and we've been trying to do steady taxation with the declining balance as long as we can afford to do so, especially with a new revenue rate or our property adjustments. I'm asking us to go back up to the voter approval rate at .5497, and that rate is still lower than your rates of 2020 and 2021. Is that everyone in agreement, or not agreement, but do you understand that? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, that's key to this whole, our whole budget plan this year. Lavaca County has spent the last 5 years overhauling the EMS department. The county is now shifting our efforts to overhauling the Sheriff's Department. Leading this charge is newly elected Sheriff Stephen Greenwell, who has added deputies, investigators, jailers, and dispatch operators while revamping operations into a modern-day proactive policing organization. A consequence of proactive policing and investigating is the need to service an increasing number of cases in the criminal justice system. Our newly elected county attorney, James Reeves, has indicted more than 140 cases since January 1st, which is more than triple the number from previous time periods. We must continue to protect all citizens, including our children, from sexual predators and illicit drug use within our county. So now I'm going to give you a brief summary of the highlights. There's, I think, 15 points. They're not in any particular order of importance. Like I told Nicole up here, there's nothing more important than what the CPS officer just said. There's nothing more important than paving a road. There's nothing more important than EMS. So none of these items are meant to be of ultimate importance or rank higher than the rest, but I'm going to highlight the ones that are impactful. So I did put number 1 and number 2 are probably our 2 most pressing issues this year. Number 1, Lavaca County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Greenwell has 45 full-time positions under his direction. Sheriff Greenwell has divided his operations into 3 distinct departments for better clarity and transparency. Department number 1 is Deputies, Investigators, and Administration. Sheriff Greenwell hired Carl Herbst as Chief Deputy and Shiner native Joshua Vaslavic to serve as Captain. On January 6th, the court approved adding 4 new deputy positions, including a new investigator and a mental health officer. The Sheriff's Department has strengthened its partnership with state task forces and local law enforcement agencies, which has led to several key arrests in the illegal drug and theft trade. Several of these arrestees are facing prison sentences of 25 years to life if convicted. In addition, we have alleged sexual predators in custody and waiting to stand trial. Next department is jail operations. Sheriff Greenwell promoted Matthew Keller to serve as Lieutenant Jail Administrator, and the court approved adding 3 new jailer positions to assist with overcrowding and inmate violence. The jail has a total of 17 jailer positions, including a lieutenant, sergeant, head cook, and transport deputy. This department operates a 48-bed facility, 24 hours per day, 7 days per week. The Sheriff and Jail Administration are currently evaluating the need for adding 24 additional beds in the coming years. The last department is the dispatch operations. Sheriff Greenwell selected Charity James to lead the dispatch department. The court approved adding 2 additional dispatchers for a total of 9 personnel in the department. This department is working closely with the Telecommunications Committee to put countywide protocols in place for the safety of all first responders and the general public. We now have a minimum of 2 dispatchers on duty at all times. Item number 2, Lavaca County Attorney / District Attorney's Office. James Reeves was sworn in as County Attorney on January 1st and had his first murder conviction by January 17th. Reeves and his team have made more than 140 felony indictments since taking office. Reeves hired Forrest Rochelle as Assistant DA and Virginia Pertita as Victims Assistance Coordinator. He also hired a full-time investigator and has retained key administrative personnel. Reeves has pushed the district judges to open up more trial dates to accommodate a growing trial docket, including 3 indicted for murder, plus numerous sexual predators and several drug dealers all ready to prosecute and bring to justice. Number 3, new judicial district formation for Lavaca and Colorado counties. We expect the state to pass legislation in the special session to ratify a new judicial district for Lavaca and Colorado counties. If this legislation passes, we could see immediate changes as early as December 2025, and Governor Abbott could appoint a new district judge as early as the summer of 2026. Lavaca and Colorado counties are ready to implement this new district as well as realigning our juvenile and adult probation departments to fit this new district. We have contingency funding in place to support this district realignment. Number 4, courthouse changes. As of January 1st, the county attorney / district attorney offices now occupy the entire 3rd floor of the courthouse. The district clerk and related offices occupy the entire 2nd floor. The county auditor, county judge, deputy sergeant of courtroom security, and the county treasurer occupy the entire 1st floor. The maintenance, technology, and EMC departments occupy the basement. The courthouse is in need of repairs with respect to windows, doors, entrance steps, boiler replacement, roof and basement repairs. The county was turned down in 2023 for state historical restoration funds, but we plan to reapply in 2026. Number 5, annex changes. A new security camera and electronic entry system has been installed. The map room is now complete, and we are waiting on shelving and furniture. The renovations of the elections department offices and early voting room is nearly complete. The sidewalk project with TxDOT was approved, and we purchased the adjacent property located at 400 North Texana in May. Future projects include expanding the front parking lot, gaining a new driveway access to Dodge Street, and building a new drive-through window for the tax office. Number 6, Lavaca County Fire Association. This committee has been formed and ratified by the Commissioners Court and represents all 6 countywide fire departments. Remember, Ezel is in there now. Lavaca County does not have a taxpayer-funded emergency services district, also known as an ESD. So the court has steadily increased funding to support all 6 of these volunteer fire departments. The county, cities, and community must continue to support our volunteer first responders. Number 7, Lavaca Law Enforcement Committee. This committee consists of the sheriff and all 4 police chiefs in the county. The committee is charged with fighting crime and solving cases together while providing mutual aid. We are stronger when working together, and we share ideas and resources. Number 8, Lavaca County Telecommunications Committee. Our new Motorola text-sworn system is up and running. This committee has broad oversight in how the Lavaca County dispatchers interact with first responders. EMS Chief Michael Furr serves as committee chair. Hallettsville Police Department Chief Randy Schlock, Shiner Volunteer Fire Department Chief Billy Petru, Lavaca County Sheriff Stephen Greenwell, Lavaca County Constable Precinct 4 Kerry Peterson, Yocum Fire and EMS Chief Mark Herchek, and Lavaca County Emergency Management Coordinator Greg Morelli also serve on this committee. I commend that committee for a job well done. that system is in place, and it is remarkable what we're getting out of it, and we're still going to build upon it. Number 9, Lavaca County EMS. The court approved adding a 4th EMS crew to the department. Chief Michael Furr and Chief Tim Decker are leading by example for the entire state of Texas to follow with our state-of-the-art approach to EMS response. Chief Furr was recently selected to a governor's advisory committee and was also selected to serve as president of the Texas EMS Alliance. Furr remains involved with the Texas Department of Emergency Management team, and his crews have been called upon to serve on numerous state disaster deployments. We are extremely proud of this collective Lavaca County EMS team. Number 10, Community Connections of Lavaca County, also known as Meals on Wheels or Lavaca County Transit. This department has made great strides under the leadership of Becky Yannock. This team provides transportation for those in need and provides about 400 meals per day to the homebound and elderly. As state and federal monies are deteriorating for this effort, the community will need to evaluate and keep a close watch on how we fund and operate this vital department. Now, this is what Kenny's favorite subject is. Number 11, joint road paving. We placed almost $3 million from the general fund last year into paving operations. The commissioners have purchased joint paving equipment and have been working together across precincts to focus on paving and repaving more roads. This year, we will inject nearly $3.65 million in additional funds from the General Land Office into special county paving projects designated to serve low to moderate income areas. Number 12, reserve funding. We placed $3 million of reserve funding to boost paving operations last fiscal year. We have $2 million remaining in lease payments on the new telecommunications system. We will make these lease payments over the next 5 years. Reserve funding is currently down, and we expect this reserve balance to remain stagnant over the next several years as we continue to improve our sheriff's operations, road paving efforts, and public facilities. Number 13, this is an interest that I want Wayne to maybe tackle at some point. We're receiving state pressure for unfunded mandates, and they're trying to ban taxpayer lobbying. So state pressure, unfunded mandates, taxpayer lobbying. The state continues to mandate and pass legislation that, excuse me, that directly impacts local taxation. The state wants to govern local property taxation and treat all counties and taxing entities the same. We are losing local control. There is a movement to silence local taxing authorities as well as dictating local tax rates and tax burdens. Number 14, salary changes. We made major changes to nearly all departments in 2023 and 2024. Minimal changes were made this year with the exception of the Sheriff's Department, IT Department, Chief Deputies, and Chief Assistants across the county. We also keep a modest non-departmental contingency fund that we can use for unexpected labor needs as they arise. Last page, almost done. Subdivisions. Subdivision activity is steady. We are mainly seeing subdivision applications for 2 to 10 acre tracts. The court was forced to file a lawsuit this year on an illegal subdivision who failed to comply with county policy and regulations. This suit is still pending in district court. Summary. The above is just a highlight reel of county activities. Each budget year is a challenge. This budget challenges each department head and official to do more with less. Steady taxation combined with steady county growth will lead us to a better place in the future. Sincerely, Keith Mudd, Lavaca County Judge. I know, everyone's like, whew, he's done. Thank you. I wanted to get that on the record. This pertains to our budget. We made a lot of changes to the Sheriff's Office. We're not going to wait to the 4th year of his to be in office. You guys already made those changes in January 6th and throughout the spring. We already made the changes to EMS. So that's where we're at. Now we have to pay for those changes. So when we're discussing, that leads us to number 7, discuss and to propose the tax rate and set meeting, public hearing date for August 25th, 2025 at 10 a.m. I'm going to lead the charge with I'm proposing the M&O rate to move to 0.4464 and the FMR rate to move to 0.1033, and that should give us a 5497, is that correct? Yeah, so moving to a total collective rate of 0.5497, but specifically 0.4464 in M&O and 0.1033 in FMR. That moves us to the voter approval rate. Do I hear, that's my motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, motion made by the judge, second by precinct 2. Any other further questions, comments, or discussion? about anything? Okay. When we vote, we'll do a show of hands, but do it right now. Do we have any questions, comments, concerns? Yes, go ahead.
I'd like to make a few comments. It's,
Move your microphone if you don't mind, real closer.
it's encouraging to see the collaboration across the county from almost every agency which serves the public, whether it's the firefighters or whether it's the police or EMS. We're working together. I see this in all of these changes, and even with the sheriff's department, there's a collaboration of the law enforcement agencies, and so the county is better off, I believe, than it's ever been because of that. It's resources that have been applied properly, oversight that has been, I think, visionary and providing direction for these things. Instead of every community being on its own and trying to work out what's best for them, what we have here is a county-wide effort, and that's been spearheaded by the judge, and I just commend that because every one of these items that I see here have something to do with that. Even the joint paving agreement, it comes that way. I find it disingenuous from the state to tell us that we need to do more with less, and they give us more and more responsibility, and they find ways to hamstring us. And when you're hamstrung, you can't run. You do good to walk. And so the Legislative Budget Board allows the state an 8 to 10% increase per year. Go look it up. They come back and tell us 3.5% is too much. That's too much. That will not even won't keep pace with inflation. And we've had to deal with inflationary issues throughout this administration. And so it's just not, it's not reasonable that for us to be silenced. Local control means local control. It means the people decide. And if you think we're doing a bad job, you're going to let us know that. You're going to vote with your pocketbook, and you're going to vote at the voting booth, and you're going to make a decision. But when you do that, you realize, you look at the scope and the magnitude of what's being asked of the county to provide services for the people. And if you've never required any of these services, God bless you. But it takes people, and it takes a really, really coordinated effort to do what gets done here. And so it is incumbent upon us to be good stewards. But I tell you, we do a lot with a little. We do. We get a lot done, and we find ways to do that. We're fortunate and unfortunate at the same time. Good and bad run on parallel tracks, and they usually arrive at about the same time. And what we see as a curse could potentially be a blessing. Oil companies are all over us, and we need them. Don't get me wrong. It has benefited a lot of the county. A lot of the people have benefited from the result of that, from the exploration and development of oil and gas. By the same token, our roads are not designed for that type of traffic. We can't take a 300,000-pound reel truck and put it on a county road. It just doesn't work. And so we've been very diligent about working with these companies and getting them to reimburse us for the damage that they do. You don't see that anywhere here. It's not reported. You don't know. We've recovered probably $2 million, probably $2 million worth of goods and services, materials from these companies. And they've been good corporate citizens. And so I appreciate that. Those are the kind of things that we do to make this work, to make it work. We're here not because we feel like that this is something that gives us a position that elevates us to another level. No, this job is about being a servant. It's about going out and saying, look, I have to advocate for the people that I represent. I have to work for them. I have to make sure that, hey, we don't get mistreated over here. We're not going to allow that. We want to be as strong as we can be, and we want to do the best job that we can possibly do. And so I appreciate the leadership of the court. We're tasked with a tough job. We've got great staff, great staff. You people do an incredible job. All of you in here, you do. And we've got great citizens too. We do. And so I'm just thankful to be here. I'm happy to be a part of this, and I just look forward to a brighter future.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right. Like I said, it's one of the most unpleasant things that we have to do as leaders is to set a tax rate and set a budget to go with it. But today we're proposing the tax rate. I've made this proposal to the court. Now I'm asking us to vote to propose this to the public, and then we will send it to a hearing and vote on the 25th. So I had a motion. Motion was created by the judge, seconded by precinct 2. By a show of hands, who is electing to vote for that tax rate? Let the record reflect that all 5 hands are showing to move to the no approval rate. The voter approval rate. All right, you scared me there. All right, that motion passes. So we're proposing to move to the voter approval rate. I will say this: this is going to be a huge issue in Lavaca County across the board. 15 taxing entities. I've got 3 school districts right now wanting to have elections to move past that voter approval rate. So, oh boy, we've got a lot on our plates. One thing I didn't point out, Debbie, was the actual taxable amount, what we levy, was only about a 0.5% increase. So, in other words, the valuations went up by 0.5%. Well, we can't survive on 0.5% with the inflation rate. We should be at 2 to 3% every time. So
Keep doing the level of services we do.
exactly, not to we can keep doing the same things and get worse at it, or we can get better and move forward. So we're moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That motion passed. So now we are on to item number 8: discuss and approve declaring items as surplus property for the Lavaca County Clerk's Office. Brought to you by the County Clerk. Those items are a Ricoh copier, a Brother Intellifax machine, and a Canon calculator. The last 2 do not work, it says here. I have to hear a motion.
I make a motion to approve declaring these items as surplus property
Okay.
for the Lavaca County Clerk's Office.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1 to approve declaring items as surplus property from the Lavaca County Clerk's Office as follows. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 9, discuss and approve the contract between Tyler Technologies and the County Clerk's Office for deployment to hosted services and records public access. That's found on page 9 through 14. Madam Clerk, do you want to say anything about this?
It was just, if you look at the contract, $18,600 for the, work hosted with our service notes, lifespan, so our IT so that's the most reasonable way to go, so I'm glad to that.
Okay.
And then also the records access for online records, so that's something that the records will be
Accessible online 24/7. You can access. Okay, that's going to be new and neat. That would be a nice maybe a featured article for the newspaper to tell the public about that. That's kind of a neat thing. All right, do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to approve. I'll second that.
All right, motion made by precinct 4, second by precinct 3 to approve the contract between Tyler Technologies and the County Clerk's Office for deployment to hosted services and records public access. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 10, discuss and approve Texas Department of Motor Vehicles imposition of optional fees for calendar year 2026. That's found on page 15 through 16. Brought to you by the Tax Assessor Collector. Do you want to walk us through this one?
Sure. Basically, the Texas Department of Motor Vehicles needs to know what fee y'all want to keep or for the road and bridge part. Right now, it's $10
Or,
for your road and bridge for motor vehicle
okay,
registration.
oh, Rich,
Yes.
Okay, I don't remember ever discussing this, exactly that we could change that. Is this something that has to be done today, or we can wait till one?
Well, it has to be, they want it by September 1st,
All right,
so it's just normal procedure, Judge.
right, okay,
We've never gone above the $10. It's
all
always
right,
been $10.
okay. Well, do I hear a motion?
Yes, I make that motion. So,
Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4, to approve the Texas Department of Motor Vehicles imposition of optional fees for calendar year 2026. Any other questions or comments?
That would be, we're approving option A.
You're approving
Option A, no
yes.
change.
Yes,
Okay.
Good.
and
All right.
that will have to be submitted into Texas Department of Motor Vehicles.
Okay. All right, thank you, Mr. Fairclough. So again, the motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4, to approve option A with the Texas Department of Motor Vehicles imposition of optional fees for calendar year 2026. Most notably, this says no changes are made this time. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes. Number 11, acknowledge donation receipt from Norma's House in the amount of $14,930.18. They sent us a nice letter. I'll read this letter to you. It says, "Thank you for your recent donation to Norma's House. Your donation will assist in providing services to Lavaca County children referred to our center. We would not be able to accomplish our mission without the continued support of our generous donors. We greatly appreciate you, Norma's House Board and staff." Do I hear a motion?
yes.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 1, second by precinct 2, to acknowledge a donation received from Norma's House in the amount of $14,930.18. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 12, discuss and approve the Democrat and Republican presiding judge and alternate judge appointments for 2025 through 2027. That's found on page 19 through 20. I did have a discussion with the elections administrator. We have till the 25th to approve this list, and I want to make sure that we've got some things right, and we're possibly going to have an elections meeting, tax assessor, clerk, myself, and then the two party chairs. So we're going to probably call that meeting for later this week, if possible. So I'm going to I'll get Nailene to coordinate a date for us, and if the date works for everybody, then we'll call the special meeting, that meeting. So I'm asking the group to table this for now,
I'll make that motion to table.
okay? Do I hear a second?
Yes.
Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 1, to table approving the Democrat and Republican presiding judge and alternate judge appointments for 2025 through 2027 till further notice. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That item has been tabled. Number 13, discuss and approve Lavaca County's order of election to be held on November 4th, 2025. That's found on page 21 through 25. And again, this was from Elections Administrator. She did not say anything about tabling this. I think that is a standard document. Do I hear a motion to?
I'll make that motion to approve.
Okay. All right. Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4, to approve Lavaca County's order of election to be held on November 4th, 2025. And I'm just looking here. And anyway, we don't have to read that, but anyway, there'll be public announcements on that, so, okay. Did y'all approve that? Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. That is approved. It's got the early voting dates on there as well. October 20th through 24th from 8 to 5, October 27th through 29th, 8 to 5, October 30th through 31st, 7 to 7. Those are early voting dates. Okay. Number 14, discuss and approve contract for the purpose of financing a used John Deere 670G motor grader with the serial number last four of 5894 for Lavaca County Precinct 3. That's found on page 26 through 32.
Basically, I'm just asking for the court's approval to go through Government Capital Corporation, like I've done before, to finance this, motor grader, $357,000.
Okay. And when we finance, it's a lease agreement, but they call it a financing agreement, correct?
Right.
Okay. And you're going to cover that for the next how long? We will not adjust our tax rate on this. It's just, it's something you're going to cover through operations.
Budget is something I have to cover in there.
Gotcha.
finance.
All right, do I hear a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4, to approve the contract for the purpose of financing a used John Deere 670G motor grader, serial number 1DW670GXTNF 715894 for the Lavaca County Precinct 3. That total financing amount is $357,562.63. It's a big ticket, sir. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Again, to the public, these machines cost money. $357,000 for a new motor grader. That is crazy money.
I have one motor grader that spends as much time in the shop as it does on the road.
I get it. I get it. I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying that the public has to understand all this costs money. Number 15, discuss and approve MOU between Gulf Bend Center and Lavaca County. I read through that this morning. It's a pretty standard agreement that all counties get on page 33 and 34, very short. Do you hear a motion?
Yes.
Second.
Who was the motion?
One.
One? Second by two?
Yes.
Motion made by precinct 1, second by precinct 2, to approve the MOU between Gulf Bend Center and Lavaca County. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 16, discuss and approve proposal between Tanya Glenn and Associates, PA, and Lavaca County EMS. That's found on page 35 through 42. I don't know if we need a presentation. We've had a presentation on it. This is for contract services for our first responders. EMS is going to cover it out of their training budget. Tanya Glenn deals with first responders and the trauma that they see every day on the side of the roads and everywhere they have to go. And so she's going to come and do a 2-day presentation to all first responders. Going to be invited to that meeting, and then she's available for services after that. We've been discussing this. We've got volunteer firefighters that walk up to a scene and they see decapitations, they see burned bodies in cars, they see the worst of the worst. We've got JPs that have seen a baby ejected from the mother's womb. I won't forget that one. But anyway, we've got real issues. These are real people. These are humans. These are our people. And the upfront fee is $10,000 for her to come to do this. The EMS has training budget for it, so I'm gonna make that motion myself and ask that we approve the proposal between Tanya Glenn and Associates, PA, and Lavaca County EMS.
I'll second that.
Motion made by the judge, seconded by precinct 3, to approve the proposal between Tanya Glenn and Associates, PA, and Lavaca County EMS. Any other questions or comments?
Judge, just to add to that,
Sure.
$10,000 is actually not going to be charged to the county.
You want to come to the microphone? I'm sorry. I'm glad you clarified that. I did misspeak on that.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Judge. Just for reference, that $10,000 is not going to be towards the county. That is not going to be charged to the county. She is going to come in. The only thing that she'll charge is for us to come in and do that class for our guys and kind of get everybody up and going. But that $10,000 retainer, that is not going to be charged to the county, so that will no longer be there. And then if we have any kind of instances where she needs to meet with any of our personnel, it'll be on a case-by-case basis on that. So just for informational purposes.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's I don't know why, it's getting to be an emotional issue, but I mean, I've seen you, Tim Decker, I've seen Michael Ferrer. I've heard the calls go out to the scenes where the scenes y'all went up to pull bodies out of something, and you came to court and we're here by 10 o'clock, showered and ready to go. And I'm like, whoa, who does that? But y'all do it day in, day out. Thank you for taking care of your people.
Well, just you know, it's one of those things that we're people too, you know, and I think the seriousness of what we go through and what we see every day isn't necessarily what everybody should have to see, in a sense, the regular layperson. We did sign up for this job. We do it diligently. We love to do it. You know, some of that's just the weight and the crosses that we bear, but at the same time is you know, we're people too. And so this Tanya Glenn, she specializes in talking with first responders, getting through some of our situations. We've had a few personnel that have struggled in this sense. We actually lost a full-time employee because of an instance of mental health illness that's no longer even doing EMS. So this is a real thing, and it's only getting worse just in the community, much less in our career paths as well too. So I appreciate you guys green lighting this for us so we can have this outlet for all of our first responders within the county. And it is open to all of the first responders within Lavaca County, so, thank you.
I appreciate you, and like I said, and I've asked you how you do it, you said, I'm just doing my job, sir. But I'm like, wow, okay. But there's a heavy burden that goes with doing your job, so.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. All right, I made the motion, second by precinct 3. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 17, discuss and approve the need for new fence located at Lavaca County Poor Farm between Lee C. and Lavaca County. That's brought to you from precinct 1, found on page 43.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We have,
I can't believe we need a new fence out there after 100 years. Why would we need a new fence?
Well, actually, we do have a gentleman, Mr. Johnson, would you come up, please? Mr. Johnson borders the property Lavaca County owns, and he's been leasing the land the last 10 years, I would say. And out of those 10 years, we've collected about $18,000 from you. And that should help us to build part of a fence that needs repair. It's not doing anybody any good the way it is now. Nobody else can come in and put any kind of livestock on the property because there's no water and there's no fence separating. Well, there's partial wire hanging on a few posts separating his property from our property. If we can build a fence around the perimeter from Willing Workers Cemetery going north until it meets some good fence that we have that will keep animals off the road, it would solve most of the problems. The only problem we would have in the future is building a fence between Mr. Johnson's property and Lavaca County property. And that's some pretty rough terrain to build a fence on. Wouldn't you agree, sir?
You could call it that, yes. Is this working?
I'm going to ask you to state your name for the court, and we're going to hold you to 2 minutes. Because we know you.
You sound like my wife. She says I talk too much.
One, yeah, you're down to 1. I want to say this before we start. I'm in agreement. I think that this is our, county owns this property. It is customary that the landowner work with, landowners split fences. So if we could, I think if we can nail this down, if we can get some bids on the new fence that we're going to split with Mr. Johnson on his fence line.
On his fence
On his
line.
side, we'll split that. If it's something, now if it's on our fence, if it's our fence line in the county road, that's on us.
It's our fence on a county road and a cemetery.
Well, we want to hear from you just for a brief minute. You're down to 30 seconds.
Something real quick on the cemetery. They have expanded that cemetery. It's called on the survey plat that was done, last I've seen of the county tract, in 1951. And it calls to the cemetery, which has been expanded since that time. There is not a complete fence around the cemetery. They've been doing work on this addition recently, and the worst fence around the poor farm for years now has been the fence between the cemetery and the poor farm. If cattle get out of that fence now, it goes on the cemetery, and then it goes on County Road 1. And I don't know what the county's agreement with the cemetery will be, but that's something for y'all to consider. If I can have 30 seconds, if I run over, let me know. I've been very impressed with this meeting today. I've only been a resident here 50 years. 48 I've had property next to the county. The county poor farm, as it's known, that we're talking about, to me is a tremendous asset for this county. And the Historical Commission being here today, I've had long-term thought myself, maybe the county will want to consider making a park or something out there someday. If they tried to sell that land anytime, it would bring a lot of money. What little you're getting from leasing it doesn't help with the county tax situation. But what I want to point out, or take this few seconds left, I think the county needs to do some long-range decision-making with the Historical Commission on what they're going to do with it. Since I've been here the 50 years, the old home that people used to live in, that they had no other place to live, has not been there. It was removed before. There are 2 creeks that come through my property and neighbors that then meet up in the poor farm and then come back through me to go in the Lavaca River. And there are things that could be done with that potentially. But anyway, that's getting beyond what we're talking about. Commissioner Faircloth, I almost applauded when you spoke previously.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
We thank you.
And I'm a senior citizen, so you don't have to pay for this. I do want to say one thing. I was instrumental in getting People's Abstract to donate the only records that exist to the county archives. And they're there, and the people running that really appreciate having them, and they're there made available for the public too. So,
Thank you for that.
tell me what I need to do.
I'll get with you.
This is
He'll
what.
get with
okay,
me, I
This is
know.
what, I'd like the court to decide 2 things. I think we need to delegate this to, I would like to delegate to Edward to go see what tracks, where we need to do the fence, and then get with the contractor to bid it out for us, and then come back to the court and say, hey, here's the fee, here's the price to do.
I need to get with the people in charge of willing workers first.
Okay.
We also have a cemetery, beside the cemetery, Fabregale property.
Fabregal,
It's on the west end, and it's less than ½ acre. Wouldn't you think it's less than half?
probably.
But anyway, I need to get with them and with the other cemetery owners, whoever's the owners are, and I will report back.
Okay.
The county records will probably show how that Fabregal cemetery was set apart to them some years ago. I don't know all the details, but basically, I knew there were graves outside of the cemetery area, and when some of the Fabregal, and there's a monument there now with a bunch of names of people that are there. That's that situation that I know.
Before we make a motion here, Ms. Opiola, as far as if this court decides to pay for fencing on that property, what fund would that come out of? Building fund? Okay. I mean, it shouldn't be much. You're talking about a couple $100?
To do what is that? Hey, I don't need that property. I'll donate my lease back to the county if they want it.
You donate the lease back, we're going to sell the property for sure. I think that's what. Anyway, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the need for a new fence located in Lavaca County Poor Farm between Lacey and Lavaca County, and we delegate Edward Puska to find out the exact fencing and to get some bids from contractors and work with the landowner to come back to court with that pricing. Fair enough?
Yes, thank you.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. So again, we approved the need for a new fence located at Lavaca County Port Farm between Leasing and Lavaca County. We delegated Edward Puska to look into the costs involved with that and come back with some bids from contractors that we can approve. We had a motion from the judge, second by precinct one. Any other questions or comments? Is that motion clear enough for the clerks?
Yes.
You got it, okay. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. We appreciate you. Number 18, discuss and approve certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Jonathan Clay Harrell. That's brought to you by Precinct 3, and I believe that's found on County Roads 301 and 303.
Yes.
You'll find it on page 44 of your packet.
Yeah, basically it's cut and dry. They're gonna have access from County Road 301 and County Road 303, and it does meet our subdivision exemption guidelines.
Okay, is that a motion?
I'm making that motion. Second.
Motion made by Precinct 3, second by Precinct 4, to approve the certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Jonathan Clay Harrell in Precinct 3 and Precinct 3. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 19, discuss and approve certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Larry and Donna Dorniak. That's found on page 40, 48 and 53. That's out of Precinct 1, and that involves with County Road 132.
Yes, this is a tract of land that's 82.836 acres, and Larry and Donna Dorniak are selling 27 acres that borders County Road 132, so it meets the requirements for the exemption, so I'll put that in form of a motion.
Okay?
I'll second.
Motion made by Precinct 1, second by Precinct 2, to approve the certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Larry and Donna Dorniak. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The motion passes. Number 20, discuss and approve declaring items on Exhibit A as surplus property from Lavaca County Courthouse. That's found on page 54. Mike Wick, you coming forward?
Good morning, gentlemen. We've been going through a bunch of surplus that has been in cubbies and holes and gathering it. This is going to be the first round of probably several as we go through it, clean it up, find what's working, what's outdated, and want to get this first round on Gov Deals.
Okay.
So,
Thank you for stepping up and taking the lead. And again, for practical purposes, if any department has something to surplus, it's IT-related equipment, you surplus it to the IT department, they'll pick up and remove it from your place, and they will be in charge of it from that point forward. If anyone has something for maintenance, it's a filing cabinet, chair, desk, whatever, so you can surplus it to the maintenance department. They'll come pick up, and they'll be responsible for surplusing it or finding a new home. I walked through grounds with sheriff the other day, about a month ago. They've got a bunch of stuff at the sheriff's office to surplus, and I said, that's the deal. You get with maintenance, it's their responsibility. So tell maintenance what you want them to pick up and move, and they will go move it and remove it. So,
yep.
all right, you hear a motion?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Mike
I'll
Wick.
make that motion.
Motion from Precinct 3, seconded by
Second.
Precinct 1, to approve declaring items on Exhibit A as surplus property from Lavaca County Courthouse. If anyone wants a copy of that, they can get it from the judge's office. It's mostly scanners, printers, a couple Dell computers, Magnavox, a Magnavox DVD player, a VHF. That's awesome. And it's a couple Toshiba telephones. Those Toshiba telephones, don't they go back to the previous? We need to look at those telephones. Different phones? Okay. All right. Had a motion from Precinct 3, second by Precinct 1. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, we're now at consent. Do we have a motion to move into consent?
I so move.
Second.
Motion made by Precinct 2, second by Precinct 1, to approve the consent agenda by one motion, second and vote. All those in favor say aye. Oh, hold on, whoa, back up.
Three would need a second.
I had a motion by Precinct 2, seconded by Precinct 3, to move into consent. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are in consent. Our microphones will go off until further notice. All right, we are out of consent. If I can have your attention, please. We're on item number 22, which is, we've already announced it, but we're going to do it again. Announce the planned annex property tour to inspect facilities, new property, and maintenance projects immediately following this Commissioners Court meeting. There's no rhyme or reason to this. It's not a planned meeting, so I suggest we start, let's start in the annex lobby over there. We'll look at the elections office, and then we'll go look at the, we'll go to the subway building and check that out again. They got the new, and then we'll go, from there, we'll go look at the Fur building. So that'll be the order we go. So we'll meet at the, in the annex lobby. Any other questions on that? Okay. Moving on to 23, announce the next meeting of the Commissioners Court, which is going to be August 25th, 2025 at 10 a.m. Any other questions, comments, or anything else? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion made by precinct 4, second by precinct 3 to adjourn. All those in favor of adjourning say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. We are adjourned. We'll see you on the 25th, but we'll see you at the annex here in just a bit.